Well, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, hi, I'm Pete. Now, today what we have is basically, I think I'm doing maybe a three-part series, if not three-part episode rather. After I go along, you will see the process that I'm doing, but to start off, I have some rescues that I'm going to try and salvage and keep them. And also during that process, I'm not sure how long it's going to take, so that's why I'm going to break it up into three different parts. But this first part should take a little minute just because I have to go through and check roots and the usual and clean her. But yes, once I finish cleaning her and going through that process, hopefully I can get to another process without going to another video. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, the plants that I have that we are trying to rescue, this is your upright philodendron, I think golden goddess, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, I'll put names up here. This plant, as you can see, is not in the best of conditions, but I'm pretty good at salvaging or saving plants. So this here should be a little doozy. She looks a little rough, but I'm pretty sure with a lot of greenery and I see some new growth points that the root system should be okay. Now I also have some somewhat struggling Hoya curtsii, looks like. If I'm not mistaken. Again, I'll double check. Hoya curtsii. As you can see, some of this just looks, horrible. But there are some healthy spots, and I do see some new growth as well. This is one as well too, but most of these here, as you can see, are dead, so I have to go back in and take them out. But this one seems to be rooted pretty good, so I have something to work with as of now. And then I also have, I think they're supposed to be Hoya, maybe Hoya Splash, Hoya Carnosa Splash, or just your regular Hoya Carnosa. I'm not sure, but or was it the Hoya Queen? It doesn't matter. Simply because of ending result of these, they're going inside of the my Hoya Carnosa Queen and Princess pot. And these are the plants that I will be saving today. Also, in the same fashion, since this will be a three-part video, I also have my Crinkle 8 that I got from a cutting over the summer, and what I'm going to do is switch her out and grow her out in spag instead of this soil. But yeah, and I think I'm gonna attach her to a bamboo pole or spike, however you want to say it, just so she can grow a little upright instead of with the lean. But of course, with the area growth, I have more space to work with. So what I'm going to do, like I said, is just de-root her and put her in spag. And I think that will be it for the first part. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have some spare pots as well. What I'm going to use, this one here is probably for this curtsii down here. And my golden goddess will be going in what I consider my original plant, which is in the grow tent. But again, this will be a long video, so that's why it's cut up into different parts. But we'll get around to that once we get to it. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is, of course, I have my handy spag here. I'm going to go ahead and moisten it. Since I'm mostly working with these Hoyas at the moment, I don't want my spag, sloppy wet, even to the point where if you hold it, it's still draining out water. So I do want it moist. I don't want it bone dry, but I want it moist so that at least the roots will know that they're getting watered. Let's get some of this here out the way. And what I should have grabbed, here it is. Okay. So we're going to move this around, of course, just to make sure all of it is at least moist in some kind of way or fashion. Okay, that should do it. Alright. Okay, so what we're going to do next, let's stick this over here. We're going to get these little guys here. We're going to start the process of checking on the roots. See how good or how bad they are. Like some of these just popped out, but as you can see here on the end there are some area roots there. Which again, this will probably make this this process a little tedious because of how small they are. But I am willing to go through it and check them. Like this one here, it's growing pretty good. It has a nice little small root system on it. And out of this pot, and then we have this one here, which has a nice little extensive root system on it as well. Now the rest of this is died off. It just died. So what I usually do with the extra dirt or soil like this, I have a random flower bed in the front. I say random just because of these are the plants that I can't necessarily throw in the trash. So what I'll do is I'll take them out their pot and just stick them in the ground out front. And if you make it, the next year, then there you go. And I can tell you a successful rate of probably a good 90% of the plants that I put out there, even though they're not supposed to be out there. But they're still doing pretty good. But yes, this is what I do with all the extra soil, especially from the rescues, if they are carrying any kind of bacteria or fungal or anything that can harm any of my good plants. So I try my best to get rid of it. Let's move on to the next one here. Now this one looks dried up, and I'm not going to save it, even though you probably can hydrate it, but I can't work with that. Now there are some good little cuttings in here, which of course will work good if you cover them in spag. I'm not so sure about this one here, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let's move on to the next one. Again, another Yeah, she's good. Just thirsty. Same here, healthy root, just thirsty. Pour this in there. All right, we have one more on the curtsy eye. Okay. Oh, as you can see, this one here has been growing. Looks like the pot is a lot better than the other three, but those are some of the roots from it. And here is the pot. It looks a lot better compared to the other two. But again, I'm just going to come in here, and since there is an extensive root system, let's kind of tap it loose. Try not to break as many roots, save as many as I can. This one here is dry, it's gone. Alright, so the rest of these, this one, it's okay, it was trying to root, however they had it, right there. And looks a little dehydrated as well. Okay, this one here, pretty good root system. They all seem to have in this pot a pretty good, I wouldn't say solid, but stable root system. It's funny how they grow to the perlite. Now, of course, I have my water over here to rinse some of these off before they go in there. Planters. So, but as for now, since they can withstand a little neglect, I'm going to leave them out just for a little while so I can try to speed this up as we go. So let's move on to the next one here. This one here, barely any roots on it, if any. Yes, something is sticking to the perlite, but looks like the roots may have this looks like a Hoya carnosa, regular Hoya carnosa, but yes, looks like some of the roots have rotted off and it just needs to be repropagated. Oh, this one here, we have some roots on here, not extensive, but there are some on this little guy, and this is the Hoya, the regular Hoya carnosa. I'm going to throw this one away, so let's put that here. Since these here are a little bit healthier, as you can hear, but I'm going to keep these and place these inside of the other Hoya pot, so that, you know, I don't have a lot of extra, I don't say random pots, but of the same kind or species, especially when it comes to vining plants of this nature. But they are going to go, I should really soak these while I do this so they can be a little hydrated. So let's put a little water on the ends of these. Even with the Hoya on my snips here. So I'm going to just quickly dress these up. There weren't any really horrible pieces on here, but aesthetically, I like a decent look when it comes to my foliage. Only if I can help it. Now, if it's something that I can't fix or train to fix, then, you know, I just leave it alone. But since I can do it with this here, I'll go ahead and do it. Now, let's go ahead for, as I said, another purpose. Let's take this out of this pot. I don't know if you guys can see it there. Hopefully no dirt falls. Okay, there are some roots on it there. And crap, did you see that? Hit the floor. There's some roots there as well. So I'm going to gently, again, knead some of this soil out so I can get to some of the roots, which again is not extensive because I got this cutting over the summer, and she's done enough growing. As you can see here, there's a nice little root system for this crinklate Hoya. But yeah, there's some little nice white roots coming out. You guys can see that. But yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to do is those slight little rinse off here. I'm not trying to soak the roots and kill them at all, but here we go. I do want to give them a little hydration so they're not actually just sitting out in the open and getting dry. Alright, next plant we have here. Hopefully I have enough room for this soil to empty out in. Alright, we have this goddess here, so let me go ahead and clean her up. Yeah, let's stick that in there. Now in this process, guys, when you are trying to save a plant, you want to make sure you have your disinfectants, and also you want to keep an eye on any moving pest or anything that you can see that will jump or leap, grab, swing, fly, however you want to call it, towards another plant, which you really don't need. And also when you're getting rehab plants, or for me, with any plant, I kind of isolate them from my collection just so that if they do have anything, it won't spread and just wipe everything out, because we all know some plants are more hardier and sensitive than others, and I wouldn't want that to happen. But on the same note, once you do bring a new plant home, or any kind of plant, whether it's new or old, but once it comes into your house, the best thing to do is spray it, just to be on the safe side with your pesticides. If you have pets, and even children, I would recommend you use something that is pet and child safe, just so that no one gets harmed in the process. But that is what I normally do, and that is what you will see me do in a second, which I probably should go ahead and do, so that once I start the next video, it doesn't take as long. So here is my mixture again. This is some pure oil soap. I think it's Mr. Bruner's. I will place the picture up here again, but it's nothing but Mr. Bruner's half part, and I would say 3/4 water, and the other quarter is Bruno's. But again, I'll stick a picture up there. And this stuff here works wonders, and also it comes in 2 different kinds. The one that I like to use is the lavender, just because of you smell peppermint more than you smell lavender, but the other one is peppermint. But let's go ahead and spray this here. What I'm doing is spraying the leaves so that if anything is on it, it will die. And of course, it's not transferred to anything of mine. The stuff is strong, but it smells good. And also, what I like to do, depending on how strong my solution is, like this one here is a little strong, and I can smell it, but it's fine because my solution is meant to kill. Literally, I won't say everything, but usually anything with a soft outer shell coating a body for an insect, or whatever the word is. I can't find it right now, but that's the word. And yeah, it's going to kill it up instantly now. So alright, sorry about that, guys. Camera cut off, but since I sprayed them, what I'm going to do now is, like I said, just rinse it off because of the roots that I have are freestanding, and I don't want that solution to do anything to the new roots. So a quick little rinse off like that, and I'm just going to stick them down inside of this little pot here until I'm ready for them. Now let's check and make sure. See, I had to check. There was one left in there. Still check. Oh, see, there's another one. All right, that's it. Luckily they float. All right, so on the same note, we're going to do the same thing here. Spray, spray, spray. Spray, spray, spray. Then we're gonna go over here again and do the dipping process. It's just like you're spraying and rinsing off any other thing. You just want to make sure that all the chemicals have gotten off, but you also want to give it enough time to work if it's infested with anything. So that's why you'll see me spray something and then move to the next one and then spray it and then move to whatever and then do it in an orderly fashion so that it gives it time to soak in and work its magic. So let's take these last ones here and we're going to rinse off this soap. Alright, very simple. Rinse off and place it there. Now, for this goddess, we're going to do the exact same thing. Let's go ahead and depowder. Check on the roots here. Which actually look pretty good. There are some growth points in here, root wise. Alright, oh, just broke a leaf off. I mean, she was looking a little rough anyway, but yeah, no. I had more luck if I could have saved it, but you know. Alright, so most of these roots here, even inside of this root ball, look a little damaged. Probably from overwatering some of them, just because they look a little rotted, but there are some newer roots. So can I show you at least one? Before I rinse it off right there. So she is growing and producing roots. So let's rinse her off real quick so that this soil is not floating everywhere. And again, with any plant, if you're switching out your soil from wherever it came from, if you definitely don't trust the nursery, not saying that the nursery is bad, but you know, there are some bad eggs in a bunch, and you can get, some plants can get infected if they're not on top of their game with the pesticides, natural pesticides, whatever, but that one little plant can wipe out a whole nursery, so just have to keep an eye on that. Now here, I think all of the dead roots are off, if I'm not mistaken. And how I do that is I do a lightly pull or drag, however you want to call it, and if it snaps off, of course it's dead, but usually a healthy root system will have a little pullback on it. Even if it's a new system, it will still have some sort of pullback. So as you can see here, most of his root system has gone, but there is a good bit that is left on her, and it's something, of course, that I can work with, which again would have been no problem, just because once you see where she's going, I think I have the growing conditions or growing these. Oh look, then I found another Hoya down in here in the water. But I got the conditions of these down pretty good, and she's gonna fit in just fine with the rest. Let's hit this one more time here. Okay. Now, okay. Now you probably can see the roots a little bit better, the white roots here. She was growing, so those seem to be new. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and spray her down real quick here. Again, you want to make sure you get all the crevices of these plants if they were infected. And this one here, I won't say definitely was infected, like it was just carrying a whole bunch of woo la la la. But it did have I seen a couple of spider mites and a couple of I call them plant fleas, but on here. So what I'm doing now, let's turn it upside down so it's not dripping back on the roots. But in case I rewash it back over, but I'm going to let this sit for a few more seconds. Let's move this out the way. I'm done with this. This will go out in the recycling pile, like I said. Make more room. Actually, it's building me a bed to put more plants out there. So even if, all right, guys, sorry about that. Camera cut off on me, but let's go ahead and rinse these off. It's been sitting with this formula on it or soap for a little while. Just going to dump the whole thing down in here. Quick rinse off. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake. All right, and we're done there. And she's going to lay right here. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do is we're going to move this here out the way. And oh God, let's clean this off my hand. All right, so what I'm going to do is stop it here just because there's a whole process that I have to do, and I also have to clean up some. And like I said, I didn't want this video to be as long just because there are a couple of more parts to it. But the beginning part, as I said, or as you've seen, has been my rescue part, and the next part you're going to see will be me repotting these in spag. Some of these will also be a transfer from soil to spag, just like with my golden goddess here. Once you see the beauty of the other one that I have, or set up rather, for me personally, she's beautiful. I'm going to transfer all that over to spag, which is why I have a lot here as well. These here are going in this pot, and also the crinklate and stuff. But anyway, guys, just stay tuned for the next video, and also there should be another one after that, but I'll explain it more on the next video. So thanks for coming and supporting my channel. Please come back for the next part of this video. As I said, it should be very interesting, and you will start to get a slight insight as into what I'm housing inside of my grow tent, since I haven't did my plant tour just yet. But thanks again for coming. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also hit that notification button to keep you notified on what's coming up next. Again, thanks guys. I have some cleaning up to do here. You probably can't see, but let me show you here. I have a mess here to clean up, but again, thanks for coming and supporting me. I will see you guys on the next video. All right, bye.